Hi, and welcome to You're Not Allowed to Say the S Word, a Heartstopper podcast with these... What's the words? I forgot it.
We're the small pods that are big on heart
and even bigger on Heartstopper.
And we're not going to apologise for it. I'm the host, Luke. I'm joined by the Yellow and Blue crew. We've got Indigo, Jackson, and we've finally traded in Ellie. A better
don't
model.
say that.
No, but we have. We have a very special guest with us. You heard her voice 2 years ago via Zoom, but she's actually here in person in our state-of-the-art podcast studio. Why are you laughing?
Just a funny dude.
I know, I am. You've come to join us in our living room.
There's the pause that always happens.
No, well, I was going to go, it's Cheryl, but then that sounded weird.
Well, at least it's not the normal pause. Normally people don't know how to pronounce it. And then we have the Cheryl versus Cheryl debate.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Now I'm not sure.
You were right. You did a really good job.
What did I say?
You said Cheryl.
I said Cheryl.
Yeah.
Cheryl. I have to say it like that. Cheryl.
People will know who you are because I name drop you all the time.
Yeah, you've heard about her. You've heard her. Now she's here and you're going to hear her some more. It's Cheryl, hi, welcome.
Hi.
Remind us who you are for those who might have forgotten and what your connection is to Heartstopper and maybe anyone else around the table.
Well, I have known Indigo for a very long time.
I'm so sorry.
Me too.
Like a decade and a half now?
Roughly.
Long old time.
Yeah.
That's too long.
I am now a teacher.
I'm so sorry. God, life is going badly for you,
And
isn't it?
I now live a very long way away from here. I live about 5 hours away in the West Country.
Congratulations.
But I am here for a lovely little visit, so I thought I'd pop by. Heartstopper was very much my comfort show for a very long time, and still sort of is. Yeah, I've just been quite strongly obsessed with it for a while.
Yay.
And it's been one of those shows that I've watched at different phases of my life. You know, you start like associating with the show with different phases of your own life.
No, I can't remember.
And I can now pinpoint what was happening in my life based on different seasons of Heartstopper.
Yeah.
It's become one of those shows for me, and I have also listened to every single episode of this podcast from the very first release.
Uh-oh.
So I know far too much.
Uh-oh.
And it's great. Mega fan.
Yeah, well, it's exciting to have you here. So you were last here, as I say, on a Zoom when we did between the seasons 2 and 3, when we did loads of special episodes. We did guest episodes. We're going to refer to a few of our other guest episodes a little way down the line because they're going to be relevant as we get later into this film. But you're one of our guest episodes back then. What's changed since then? Anything new? Anything exciting?
With me or with the show?
With you.
With me. I'm now a homeowner. I have a mortgage now. Terrifying. I'm a real adult.
Oh, my Lord.
And I'm engaged now.
Congratulations.
I don't know if I was last time. I don't think I would have
No, you
been.
weren't.
I've been engaged for a really long time, so who knows? Then it would have only been, was it only the first or second season that was out when we last spoke?
Season 3
2.
wasn't out yet, yeah.
First 2 are out.
Yeah. So we've had a lot more Heartstopper content as well.
Oh, haven't we? And hasn't it changed a lot since then? Hasn't everyone grown? Haven't we grown?
And I'm fully up to date on all the books as well.
Even volume 6?
It's on its way to me.
Oh, so no then. Okay.
It's in the post.
I've got my volume 6.
I can't read it until April next year.
Yes, you can. You just won't.
The hardback doesn't come out till the 1st
Oh,
of
come
April.
on.
Unless I borrow it. I'm not owning the flat one when I've got
Borrow a
5
copy.
beautiful hardbacks.
I agree with that, but borrow a copy and read it.
Or buy it and then put it in a charity shop. Give back. It's charity.
Buy it and put it on Vinted.
Charity starts at home, Luke.
Yeah, put it on Vinted. Make some money back.
No.
That's basically how I'm funding my entire wedding. I've sold half my life. I'm buying everything on Vinted with Vinted credit. It's free. Free stuff.
Smart. We need to get into that.
Slippery slope for me, I think. I need to avoid anything with the words credit attached to it.
Yeah, the dopamine takes over.
I can't stop myself.
You saw me today in Rituals doing it.
That was brilliant. Mm-hmm. You just couldn't stop yourself.
Nope.
I mean, I'm
No
terrible
self-control.
because I definitely encourage people to spend money.
I just have no self-control.
That's up to me with rituals.
Whereas I'm the most stingy person ever and
Yeah.
usually talk myself out of buying things that I want.
To be fair, this is actually a present for someone else. And it's a surprise box. So it's got loads of stuff in it. And
Did
I
you
don't
order
know
it from
what's in
TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old TikTok.
Can't say I've ever ordered anything from TikTok.
Oh, don't start, because that's a
get
slippery slope.
Yeah, I get the big boxes of Jaffa Cakes from there sometimes.
I keep having to talk myself out of £30 boxes of crystal candy.
I really want them too, but I know they would taste rubbish.
I bought some cheap, and I say cheap, they weren't cheap, they're still ridiculous price, but like the cheap version of from Amazon, and they were awful. And then I was like, but surely the really expensive stuff is going to be nice. But still, £30.
I don't think you can guarantee that.
No, you can't. And £30 for a box of candy, even if it's nice, is stupid. Don't spend £30 on candy in one go. Even I know that is a step too far.
Still thought about it though.
A lot. A lot. It's still on my list, my wish list on Amazon. Yeah, in case I lose it and forget about it. But
there are better things to spend your money on.
Yes, or just don't spend it. Apparently, that's the thing people do. Anyway, what's good in our lives? What's good in your lives?
I did my show. It's over.
Have you got the post-show blues?
Yes, like never before.
Oh,
There's been a lot of tears.
Well, we've been watching some videos. It's been nice.
Yeah, showed Cheryl some of the rehearsal videos. But the show was recorded, so I'll get a full-length private YouTube link eventually. I'm very excited about it. You came to see it?
I did come to see it. It was so good. You've got some really, really good singers. Some of the women in particular in that cast, phenomenal.
Yes, we were really blessed with a really great cast. And they got us goodbye gifts, like thank you gifts, which was...
They're really lovely.
They were really lovely. You probably saw a picture that I posted. If you follow my Instagram, you've probably seen it too. I know you did because you liked the photo of it separately.
Did I?
Yeah, a big frame with a mixtape in the middle, and everyone had signed it.
Oh, I did. Yes, I liked that.
Yes, a huge card with messages from everybody, and then front row tickets to see Avenue Q.
Oh, you love Avenue Q.
Yes, I do. And they got me front row tickets.
That's amazing. When are you going?
1st of September.
I'm busy.
Well, it's tickets for me and Lucy, but
why would you take her?
That was really... Those tickets were so unexpected, and it was very overwhelming. I didn't expect that.
Did it make you feel special?
For an hour or two, yeah.
Nice. Nice. It's an Avenue Q reference, if anyone's not sure Avenue Q.
Which we did in that show.
Yes, you did.
2 Avenue Q songs. I sung the other one with Lucy.
Yes, you did.
It was called Mixtape.
Yes, it was.
And my mic broke the night you came to see it.
Yes, it did.
That's really upsetting, because my whole family were there as well.
Yes, they were.
You don't really need a mic anyway.
I did for that because it was crackling, so you couldn't hear me over the crackle.
Yeah, it was
and then Lucy was going, "That's so sweet."
Yeah, it was like one of those films where one of the characters is an alien and then the other can speak an alien language. Yeah. You know, like in Star Wars when Chewbacca speaks.
Yeah.
And then Han Solo's like...
That's right, Chewie.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's kind of like that, but even hairier.
Yeah, it was the most rewarding experience of my life. And
None taken.
I'm so genuinely heartbroken it's done.
Oh, get over it. No, I get it. Post-show blues are the worst thing ever.
Yeah. And it's my first directing gig, so I think it's just been extra special. And the cast I didn't realise how close they'd all become. Like, they were all crying as well, which was really, in a way, nice to see, because you always hope that you've created an environment that people really enjoy.
You might have even made me miss it. Miss the theatre vibes. Not quite the same directing 7-year-olds.
No, I suppose not. But yeah, it's nice to know that everybody was just as gutted as we were.
Yeah.
And I made people cry during my speech.
Well done.
What did you say about them?
Only nice things.
But at least with the kind of group that you're working with, many of them will be on future shows with you. It's not like that thing where you properly finish a show or a production and then like you have to actually say goodbye to everyone and you'll never see them again.
Exactly.
I'm trying to make it better for you here.
I know,
into a positive.
But there will never be a cast exactly like that again. It was a perfect storm of people.
That's what makes it special.
That's what makes it so special.
Oh, no, but it was really good. Congratulations.
Thank you. What was your highlight? What was your favourite? Other than being alive, obviously.
Oh, that's really difficult. There were loads that I really, really, really liked. I liked Let Me Be Your Star.
Yeah.
Just because the reason I'm going to pick that is because the women that sang it were phenomenal, but also it's a song that you don't hear very often. I loved Smash when it was on TV. I was obsessed with it when it was on TV, but I didn't have anyone else really in my world at that time that was into musicals, because I'd left drama school and I'd come back home and something. So it was like, yeah, that's such a niche memory that so few people around me are aware of. And then when it started, I was like, oh, I love this song. Oh, I miss this. I need to rewatch it. And I love Megan Hilty. And did I see Catherine McPhee in Waitress? I think I did see Catherine McPhee in Waitress. So anything that involves the two of them is great. Obviously, you didn't have those two.
No.
I mean, that would be
Community
impressive.
Theatre group. But the women that you had were very good nonetheless.
They were indeed.
Yeah, so I think that. I'm going to go that one.
Go with that.
Very that.
Right, that.
What's good in my life, you ask? Well,
Yeah, sure.
I went up to visit my grandma, my dear old grandma. A lot more sitting in a house trying to avoid lengthy periods of silence because they make me very uncomfortable. She goes to this like community coffee morning type group called Mug and Mingle, but we call it Mig and Mungle because she always gets it muddled up because she's 99.
Yeah.
We went to Mig and Mungle and walked in, and it was a group of elderly women and younger autistic women. They were all autistic. And that's fine, because so am I. So I walked in, and this girl goes to me, within 3 minutes of sitting down, she goes, "Are you gay?" I was like, "Yeah, I am." I'm also sitting next to my 99-year-old grandmother, and across is her 96-year-old sister, and this is a bit of an awkward... Like, she knows, but we've never talked about it. So, okay, fine, whatever. But I'm like, yeah. I don't think my grandma could hear it, so that's fine. Even though she was sitting next to me. And then she came over and was like, "Oh, we've got to set you up. I'm going to set you up with my brother," and showed me a picture of her brother's Instagram. And I was like, "Thanks. I think I'm a bit too old for your brother, and also I live a long way away." And she was like, "He's in his 20s." And I was like, I'm nearly in my 40s. Can we move on? But it was lovely. But yeah, it was a very strange, surreal, one of those really. It's like you've walked into an interactive sitcom experience. But no, this is just actual life. This is just real. This is really happening, you guys. So that was fun. I'm sure, Indigo, you'll have watched a lot of the European Athletic Championship.
Well, of course.
Yeah. Facial expressions don't work on podcasts.
Yeah, I was counting on it.
Oh, okay,
Thanks for
fine.
ruining that.
Cheryl, did you watch any?
No. Sports aren't my forte.
No.
Shall we say?
Well, I watched it. I loved it. Lots of fine athleticism on display, and that's what I watch it for.
Uh-huh.
Yes, really good. Some great success for Team GB. But also, I like to watch it for the humorous athletics names, like the athlete called Eman Willie Do.
Sure, it's the only reason to watch these things.
No, trust me, it's not the only reason. But yes, that made me chuckle. Eman Willie Do. What other things? I binge-watched the latest season of Traitors US and have been binge-watching Traitors Canada. And particularly the Traitors US reminds me of what a toxic human being I am. Because do you watch Traitors?
Yes, I love Traitors.
You still haven't watched any, have you?
No, but we were playing
ashamed
it throughout
of
the
yourself.
whole process of the show.
Well, you need to watch it.
We ran a Traitors at work, and I decided to be a spectator rather than the player. Best decision I ever made. Honestly, it was the highlight of my week. Watching them all shout at each other.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I loved being the one in control of everything, knowing who the traitors were.
And our head teacher had a Claudia Winkleman wig and a cape. Had the best time.
I want to do that, but I'm in a small school, so I don't know if I've got enough staff.
You can make it work. Just everyone has to be involved. Mandatory involvement.
I mean, we had people not do it because they were like, we don't believe in promoting distrust and unnecessary arguments. We were like, okay.
It's only a bit of fun. It doesn't have to be that deep.
You do you, but just know it's not that deep, okay? It's really not that deep.
It's just the Traitors, guys. It's really fun. Well, yeah, I've been watching it, and as I say, it makes me remember what a terrible, toxic person I am, because I watch it, and there'll be somebody there, and I'll be like, I've decided that they're my favourite. Usually because they're quite an attractive man. Usually wine.
Shallow.
Yes, absolutely. And they will be doing the most appalling toxic stuff, and I'll be like, yeah, you go.
Yeah.
And then someone else will be doing all of the right things, and I'll be like, no, they've got to get them out. and then when people start stop voting for the person who's actually doing all the right things, I'm like, don't stop voting for them. Vote them out. Get them out. And I get really cross. And yeah, I'm a terrible person.
People being good people on TV shows is boring watching.
It depends.
You know, the drama's what makes it fun.
Yeah, it is.
Otherwise, TV would be very boring.
It would. But then, yeah, it would, yeah. Yeah, I can't say anything about that. So that's all of that, really. I haven't got my new car yet. That's made me sad.
When are you getting it?
I don't know. I haven't got a date yet. I've got to wait for the tyres.
Womp womp.
Womp womp, indeed. What else is there to talk about? Oh, big news. Have you heard who's joining the cast of Heated Rivalry Season 2?
No?
Villa.
Really?
Villa Edvin Riding. Villa Krona Prince Wilhelm is going to be joining the cast of Heated Rivalry 2.
We were just talking about Young Royals, weren't we?
We were.
I said you need to binge watch it.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Have you watched it?
And
you
I did a
binge
full
it?
binge.
Did you like it?
And
Did you love
yes,
it?
I loved it. And I watched it with subtitles. It's better.
Mm-hmm.
An
I haven't
authentic
finished it
watching
yet.
experience. You have to watch it.
Yes.
And I'd say watch each season like a film. You can have gaps at the end of each season.
Yeah.
Do you not
Watch
have
each
the
one
time
like a film.
for that?
Well, you know,
These are
this is what summer
lies.
holidays are for.
I don't get summer holidays.
No, but you do have the time, I'm sorry.
I do not have the time.
Sacrifice a day off somewhere.
I have 2 shows to prep for now.
No, like,
It's not nice, is it? I've been talking about Shrek for weeks.
look.
Yeah, you are a much more productive person than me. I've spent the last month of my summer holidays doing not very much, so...
No, but I'm not going to have it. I know everybody's different, but if I can be a head teacher and a professional wrestler and do this podcast and edit it every week and do medieval reenactment and all the other bits that I do, then and still manage to find time to binge watch shows, then there's time. You just got to make it.
There's just not enough hours in the day.
I'll tell you what,
I
next
don't get enough
time you're
sleep as it
ill,
is.
the expectation is that you sit and you binge watch it.
Oh, if I'm ill, binging happens.
That should be top of your list.
If I'm home for like an hour at a time.
Poison them.
Watch out what you eat and drink here next time, is all I'm going to say.
Good, well that's all of that. Let's talk about Heartstopper, shall we? We're here to talk about Heartstopper Forever. We're about halfway through the film. Can you believe it? 4 episodes to get halfway through the film. I sat down...
I'll say this is a faster pace than I was expecting from you guys. I was quite impressed.
That's what I said.
I was very impressed.
Thanks.
I'd originally pitched that you'd need like 10 to 12 episodes for a film.
No, of course not. That's definitely not going to happen. Yeah, we're like halfway through, and what has happened so far? Oh my god, I don't even know. So much, and yet so little.
Mainly
No,
so
exactly
little.
that.
Charlie, let's go like character by character. Charlie, head boy, feeling the weight of pressure of trying to help everybody else and help himself and help Nick, trying to save the gays, all of the gays in school, but also showing to be a more sort of confident, mature, sorted young man. Nick having a massive breakdown, doesn't know who he is, what he's doing, what his worth is in, and is kind of taking that out on himself and kind of taking that out on Charlie as well. And he started a new job in I was going to say a dog shop. At like a dog rescue centre. Yeah, with Kenneth. Yeah, the left side about
We
him,
love
the
Kenneth.
better. Do we? Do we love Kenneth?
Yeah.
Do we?
I'm all about lads, you know, they're
Yeah,
my
of course.
They're my forte. I get on with that kind of person so severely.
Mm-hmm.
And they all love me.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Definitely don't shout abuse at me down the street.
I wouldn't class myself a lad.
Me either.
Yeah, me either.
Towel, breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, currently broken up, question mark.
Yes.
We'll explore that.
Yes.
We'll explore that as we go on. Dara, not much news from them, which is disappointing. I want more. Sahar, not much news from her. Disappointing. I want more. Imogen, into women now. That's about as far as we got with that. Mr. A and Mr. F continue to exist in a very pleasant way. Sarah Nelson has changed.
Yeah.
And that's very disappointing. David hasn't changed. And that's very disappointing. Tori and Michael are together? Question mark.
They're a thing.
They're a thing, but we don't quite know what that thing is because the book thing and the TV thing and now the film thing are all like 3 different things, and what's the actual thing? But Michael is training to be in the Winter Olympics, so that's the thing. And that's about it. Have I missed anyone?
If you have, they can't be that important.
Isaac.
Oh no, that's devastating.
Wow. So Cheryl just said that. Isaac isn't
He's
important.
one of my favourites.
Sounds like it. And Isaac, again, not really much news, which is disappointing. We want more of these characters, but...
And Nelly.
Here we are. Nellie's Nellying. Nellie's just being Nelly. Nellie's a good dog. So there we are. The very last bit that we got to was the gay club at school, gay club. And we left it there. So let's pick it up in the coffee shop, the Rainy Days coffee shop where Charlie works. He's at work. Has he got the order right? He doesn't sound sure. I don't know. This is for Tao. Is this out? Don't know. It's like, if you're going to work in a coffee shop, you need to know people's orders. And if they're your friends, like, you really should know their orders, I think. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know any of my friends' coffee orders.
Yeah, but you don't work in a coffee shop.
That's true. We'd serve coffee.
How many of your friends are going into your pub for a coffee?
Yeah, that's true.
Sahar thinks that Towel might have broken up again. And we cut to a shot of them both looking pretty downcast. Oh, we're so miserable. Oh, we're so mopey. Guys.
I mean, Tao's face was hysterical. Just so over the top miserable.
I mean, it felt like old school Tao, I guess. But did we really want old school Tao back?
No.
He'd done so much growth. And now he's all grumpy again. Charlie comes in with the wisdom. Well, they're both strong-willed, and so they clash. And Nick throws in that they're also past the honeymoon phase. That feels slightly foreboding and ominous, because we know that must also apply to Chili now. But the difference is, I think Chili are the opposite of being both strong-willed people. They're both... what's the polite way of saying it?
Know what you mean. Yeah, they both spend too much time worrying about each other rather than themselves.
Yes, they're both, yeah.
Whereas Tao and Elle
they're
think
both
about
more accommodating
themselves
people.
in the relationship rather than the other person.
They're both more accommodating people. I mean, we've seen the scenes, we know they're both accommodating. Also in terms of their personalities. They're both more accommodating people, I would say.
It's very generous. Really.
And then Sahar decides to bring up what she calls the obvious, which is that most teen relationships don't last.
Not wrong.
Not wrong. Again, I think this is Alice Oseman having listened to what we've said a lot about the fact that teen relationships don't
Of
last
course.
and being like...
The weird thing is it doesn't normally come from someone who is that age, that comment. To have it coming from someone who is that, like, usually when you're in that world, you're like, no, obviously, this is how everyone's going to be forever. I don't think you usually have someone who is in that saying, oh, well, teen relationships don't last, because usually when you're in that bubble as a teenager, you're quite stubborn of, no, actually, I've got my own mind, I know what kind of people.
Yeah, you will post that Taylor Swift quote, you are the only exception. You always think you're the exception to the rule. Is it not?
Paramore.
Is it? No. It's so Taylor Swift coded, that song.
Is it? Have you heard that song?
Maybe I've only heard that part of the song.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's like a wisdom there that usually when you're in that bubble yourself, you're naive enough to think that the person you meet will be the person you stay with forever.
Yeah.
Yes, but...
Refreshing that there is someone who's thinking about it differently.
As I say, but then when I think about our yellow and blue teens, when I think of Finn, Rafe and Sky, they would have said that sort of thing. I don't know if that's just like we got good ones and they're good ones.
I think we recruited the 3 most cynical teenagers on the planet, though.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you knew what I was like as a teenager. I was very glass half full, everything's going to be fine.
You still are. in the most endearing way.
Yeah, but, you know, I think it's interesting to see one of them being so, like, to the point about it.
Yeah.
Sahar's got more relationship experience, I think, than the others as well.
I mean, yeah, she came in as the very, like, matter-of-fact... Blunt, take no nonsense, this is how it is, guys. Kind of, that's always been her.
But watching
vibe,
their faces drop as she said it was so sad.
Yeah.
If you're going to have that opinion, don't say it in front of 2 teenagers who are in a relationship.
No,
yeah, maybe don't.
No, she says maybe they'll break up for good sometime, and Charlie just like, oh, Oh no. And then I thought, from a storytelling point of view, what is this trying to tell us? Is this giving us a warning? I mean, we know what's coming because we've all seen it, but I was like, is this giving us a warning? And then you think, no, they can't. They're
Surely
silly.
not.
That's Heartstopper. We then go to the gang sitting down, getting the goss on Imogen and Hannah, who is the girl that she was with. There's a song playing in the background, but I didn't know what it was. If anyone knows what it is, let me know. Didn't catch it. And we find out that Imogen's been dumped because Hannah doesn't want to do long distance, even though it's only in Birmingham. I feel like, right, I'm like, if anyone is out of Eastbourne, that's a long distance relationship. So from like Kent to Birmingham,
that is a long way.
Yeah, sorry, but that is.
It is a long way. I'd give it like between Eastbourne and Brighton. If we're further than Brighton,
yeah,
do too far.
Sometimes, like, I'll see on apps someone in Brighton or someone in Hastings, and I'm like, that's too far. I can't do that.
Yeah, I would say Hastings is too far, even though objectively it's not. It's the same distance by train.
I think when me and Sean met, we were either 2 buses or like a 45-minute drive.
That's long distance.
That was pretty far, and I considered that quite far away. That was like on the boundary of how far I was willing to go.
I know there'll be people in North America that are like, you're crazy. Yeah. 45 minutes is nothing, but we're a small island.
Yeah, although with my ex, he lived in Uckfield.
Yeah, that was far.
Yeah, that was really far. I used to get the bus.
I remember that journey back from when you guys rescued me at Pride, and that just took forever.
Oh God, yeah.
We then learn that Tara didn't get into Oxford. Shock. And there's a whole story here that we need to know.
Yeah, it's so sad that it was just dropped in when it was such a big plot line to just have a throwaway line of, I'm glad I didn't get into Oxford.
Right.
But what? When did that happen?
Because my first question is, like, did you deliberately do a bad job of your application? Did you feel... because I got the impression she wasn't going to apply, but then she obviously must have applied. She's saying she didn't get into Oxford. But so then was there a whole thing where she felt she had to apply because she was getting pressure from like parents or from outside people? Because we saw that pressure mounting up on her. But then did she deliberately do a bad job of the application so she wouldn't get in? Or did she tank one of her A-levels? Or like what's... Well, no, we know she got great.
Maybe her interview, maybe?
A-level results. Well, no, they must have been AS level results.
Or that GCSE results.
Oh, that was it with GCSE results.
I don't know. I was gutted that we didn't get more of explanation of that. Because she's clearly already at the point where she's feeling good about it and calm and fine. And so there would have been a whole arc of that. You don't go from having that as your goal for all those years to being like, yeah, it's fine, I'm glad that it worked out that way.
No, and this is what I've been saying for ages, and I know everyone's probably tired of me saying it, but we've been short-changed. We should have had this story. It's a bit unfair that we didn't get it, actually. I'm a bit upset about it. But on the plus side, it does mean that this won't be a problem for Dara. So that's good, I suppose.
I do feel that makes it worse, though, for the couples it is a thing for. Because I think it was such a theme when you were that age and everyone was like, oh, we're all going to get scattered. And it made it better that everyone was going through it.
Yeah.
Almost harder for the people who are going through it because it's not a universal experience. When you're watching other people who don't have to go through that, who just get to stay together.
It's also good for your social development.
It is good for
to move around with new people.
Oh, yeah.
And now schools don't do that. And then people wonder why young people don't really have many good like social skills.
Yeah.
It's because they've been around the same people for 18 years.
I mean, we all scattered, didn't we?
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, I remember you go to nursery, you go to infant school, and then when you get to
juniors,
when you get to primary school, you spend the first 2 years with the same group, and then when you get to upper school, it changes again. And then, so I remember year 5 I had a new class, and then year 6 I had a new class.
I think depends. That's because you were in a really big junior school.
Yeah.
Well, you went to Auckland, I'm assuming.
I did.
Yeah.
But Auckland don't do that anymore. You just stick with the same group of people every year.
I think it depends on the school
That
structure
is usually
at the time.
the case. That is more usually the case.
And then secondary school, it was, you had a tutor group for the whole 5 years, but every lesson you had different people from across the school in.
Yeah.
Which I'm hoping is still the case.
Yeah.
That's still the same 200 kids.
Yeah, but then I feel like more teenagers I talk to now stay at their school sixth form compared to like we went off to a different college
That's
and
it.
you start again.
That's an important step to take because I think that's the first big step that gets you ready
It's
for
the
university.
baby step before the big step.
Yeah, university, you have to do that.
Yeah.
College is the practice for that.
There's been a really, really big push to have more through schools. So schools that go all the way from primary or even from nursery all the way up to A-level. And I I think that takes some really important life-building steps away from kids. So, like, the school that you went to, Indigo, my niece and nephew go there, and Ellie's daughter goes there, because that's now a through school. It's primary. I think they might even have a nursery now. So it's nursery all the way up to year 11. They don't have sixth form years, but they go all the way up to year 11. So in that school
from 2 years old.
Yeah, from 2 to 16 in the same school. And yeah, they've got like separate buildings. And yeah, some kids come, some kids go, and like lots more will come to join when you get secondary school. But you're still going to be moving up with that big old same group of children. And yeah, I don't actually think that's beneficial myself. But there we are. I've spent the last 8 years working in really small schools where you're really stuck, like you can't even move. There's not more than one class in a year group, so you can't even move to like another class if you need to have change or things. Kids are really stuck together, and there are some real advantages to it, but it can also be really challenging in a lot of ways. But yes, so they're all talking about moving around. Darcy points out it's going to be a thing for all of them, actually, not just the couples. They're all going to be moving around because it's a big life moment. I remember being that age and it being the big life moment. I did the gap year, so all my friends were going off, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? Because I'm still here. And although I knew I was planning on going to drama school the year later, it was just like that. What do I do here at home now when everyone's going off and doing this, that and the other? It's, yeah, really big, scary time, but exciting time.
Yeah, it's a very weird... It's like the first time you really get to a point where everyone's options are a bit more open. You're not all forced down this same track, isn't it? I think that's where you can see them all, like all the fracturedness within sort of individuals in the group. I think a lot of it is just this sudden feeling of everything's about to open up.
Yeah, and you suddenly realise your differences are suddenly magnified, because it's like, oh, you always knew that this person was the drama person, and then this person was like the sensible one that did accounting, and this person was the one that did law. But then when it was like, but we all exist in the same world, but now we're going to such different worlds, because it's like, yeah, my world of drama school that I went to was so vastly different from my friend who went to a university to study law. And then it's like, oh my God, suddenly we realise that we're such different people that are going to be inhabiting such different worlds. It's big, but they are all going to go to Pride, and that's one thing that will connect them. They're all proud, and they're like, but that might be our last time hanging out together as a group. And I've got an issue with this comment, and we'll come back to it later.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're gonna forget that I've said I'm gonna come back to it later, but let's come back to it later because there's an event that comes after
it's also
Pride.
Quite a dramatic comment.
Well, it is dramatic, but also there's an event that comes after Pride that they knew was going to happen, and they knew they would all be at. So, but we'll talk about that. Tao, because he's back to being old school, Tao comes in with a really bleak comment about never speaking to each other again. And he says it in this really bleak way, and everyone's like, what? And then he's like, ha ha, only joking. But I don't know that he was joking when he said it. I think he was
I don't think so.
I think he was being bleak Tao. If we got two of him, there'd be bleak Taos.
I mean, he's not totally wrong. You don't remain in the size group you were at that age. You try for a couple of, but it never remains quite the same. So he's not entirely wrong, I don't think.
I had loads of different friendship groups, but like my one close friendship group at that age, we are still a group. But we can count on one hand the amount of times we all actually are able to get together in a year.
Yeah, as one group.
Yeah. Isaac's furious at Tao. I love it when he gets furious and sassy. More of that, please. Elle says that in 30 years they'll be middle-aged, causing a scene at drag brunch while Isaac is sat in the corner reading, and that feels like a personal attack. I shall say no more about that. And Isaac says he'll have written his own book by then. I was like, good luck getting published. We've all written a book, Isaac. Doesn't mean we can all get it published. But if anyone knows anyone that would like to publish a young adult verse novel about LGBTQ plus romance and witchy stuff and family grief, then let me know, because I've got one ready to go. Thanks.
It's actually all right too.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah. I like it. I'm proud of it. I'd like it to be published. Charlie... right.
Shut up.
No.
Shut up.
Because I think we need to drill down into this Charlie comment. He says, Nick always thinks about the future. It's like he's there in his mind already, trying to stop a mistake that hasn't happened yet, but I don't know what the mistake is. That feels a very literary comment. Feels like something you'd write in a book rather than actually say with your own voice.
Yeah.
But also, what does he mean? What's he getting at? What's he seeing? What's he saying?
It sounds like he's highlighting the way Nick's anxiety manifests.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just a bit more of he's quite a planner kind of person.
Yeah.
I don't think he does really live in the moment. I think there's always this I agree the way he said it was a bit flowery and a bit more than you'd probably say in casual conversation, but is that almost like the therapy kind of speak? It kind of feels like something he's spoken about.
Yeah.
Maybe in like a therapy
Maybe
situation.
It's Jeff. Maybe we're hearing Jeff.
And we're actually hearing Jeff. Because I don't think that is something that he would have said.
It's one of those things where someone says it and you go, oh yeah, and then you think about it and you're like, well, what does that actually mean? Nice words, but what do they actually mean? But also, it feels, I don't know, does it feel unfair? I just think so at the point that they're in, that Nick is in, where he is about to make this massive change, like he's about to go off to uni.
Future.
Yeah, you do just think of the future. That's all you can think about. You're always living in tomorrow because that's...
I don't know whether maybe it was a
what
bit
your
of
whole
like
life is gearing up towards.
Yeah, whether it was a bit of like a hint to like the childhood trauma stuff that's obviously hinted at like later in the film and stuff with the flashbacks. Maybe it's a hint at like that's how he like deals with things, like thinking forward into the future, stopping the mistakes.
Yeah. He then goes on, I never used to think about the future at all. And Isaac says, it's because you were too busy surviving. And I'm like, okay, Mr. A.
It's a great line. One of the best of the film.
It is a really great line, but also it does feel, again, a bit overly flowery because there's a bit of me that wants to go, yeah, that's because you were a child, and when you're a child, you don't think about the future.
Yeah.
Because the future is next week.
But I guess you do in a way, like you have like dreams.
Only because people
grandeur.
tell you to, but you're not like really thinking about that much, are you?
Like realistically, no.
Yeah, you're more thinking about who am I going to play football with at playtime.
I never thought that
football.
once.
I don't know why. Why did I get
weird
wet?
example?
That didn't. What podcast has this become? Who are we?
I wonder if
don't
someone's
recognise
going to
myself.
put N-dubs on their iPod today. Is what I was thinking.
Not N-dubs again.
People in my year were obsessed with them.
I know, but they've had too much coverage on the pod in recent weeks.
I used to play a lot of Katy Perry.
Deserve it.
Is that better?
No, that's worse.
That's what I thought you'd say.
We go to Nick singing Happy Birthday to Sarah on her 50th birthday. I love her dress, and I was really excited that Cheryl was coming this week, because I thought, I bet Cheryl will love Sarah's 50th birthday dress.
I loved the outfit.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, because I was watching it on the way in. I can see it in my head. I can't really describe it. That's not really how my brain works.
It was like a lovely little yellow kind of retro style dress
very
with like a
floaty,
big
summery,
waistband.
pale pastel-y colours.
Pale yellow, yeah, lovely. It was just lovely. It was a lovely dress.
I mean, I still just can't get over that she's not her, though.
It's disgusting.
And they tried really hard with like changing all the photos in the photo frames and everything. And I just can't get on board with it.
No. It feels like a lie.
Yeah, basically. And I don't feel like it's something that OG Sarah would have worn.
I cannot see the OC in that dress in a million years.
Which also kind of just added in insult to injury there. They've just highlighted that it's not the right person for me.
Yes.
Loved the outfit, but...
I watched a trailer for something very recently and it had Anna Maxwell Martin in. And I shouted "traitor" at her because I think it was an episode of Traitors as well, and I was like "traitor," which is awful. I like her. I don't want to feel negatively towards her, but
too late.
Can't help it, and it's not her fault. It's not her fault, really. I'm disappointed Ellie isn't here. Not really, but but for the point of view that I wanted her feedback on the cake looked great. Big stacked Vicky sponge with strawberries and cream and stuff. Although, for a 50th birthday cake, you need icing.
Yes.
I think. You can't have a naked cake. It's not special enough.
No, I agree.
We go to Chile looking at old pics of Sarah and a young boy who definitely looks absolutely nothing like Kit Connor. I was like, surely we can do better than this, guys. There must be 1,000 children out there that look like Kit Connor.
They could have just edited actual old photos
of
Kit Connor.
Yeah.
That probably would have looked better. This is when we find out that's actually what that was.
Well, no, because you know what you look like as a kid, because he was in movies.
He was in movies.
He was in so many movies.
So there would have been loads of content they could have pulled from.
Yes, they could have.
Literally Elton John.
Yeah, they could have got him dressed as Elton John as a kid or something. But also it wasn't, it was the actor who does a little flashback later on, I think. Charlie says the kid is so cute he'd protect him with his life, which seems to hit like a nerve with Nick. What's that about?
Did it?
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Charlie was like, oh, he's so cute. I'm protecting with his life.
Well, I'm still cute
and
now.
then Nick was like, yeah, I'm so cute now. And then was like, right, I've got to go and say hi to people. Like, he had suddenly felt uncomfortable about something. Or, yeah, it had a reaction, a response.
But he seems to always get defensive when it seems like somebody... like
the idea of being protected.
Yeah, or that Charlie doesn't need protecting and that he's actually protecting other people now because he's so okay, he doesn't need Nick anymore.
But then equally, he has the same reaction when Charlie's not in a good place because he worries so heavily.
Yes.
Whenever there's either extreme, he seems to struggle.
He just needs to chill down, bro.
Yeah, chill down, bruh.
What?
Chill down, bruh.
What accent's that accent?
I don't know.
Okay, fine.
I think it's just lack of enunciation.
Lack of
Anything.
anything.
Nick goes off to say hi to folks. Charlie goes to the loo, but there's just time for a quick snap with the little blue and yellow disposable camera. So Nick takes a little snap of Charlie, who suddenly, there was just a moment in it where I was like, oh, he looks like an actual grown-up right now.
He pulled a very awkward pose as well.
Yeah.
Like, awkwardly standing like, ah.
Really awkward, but in a way that made him look like he was
Yeah.
like an actual adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never seen Joe Lock and thought of him as an actual adult before.
Yes.
No,
So
that's a good point.
it really threw me. I was like, what's going on here? Like, we see it with Nick all the time.
Yeah.
Skipping ahead a bit, there's a bit in the garden where I was like, he has grown out of that hair and it's not doing any favours for him now. Like, it's
He
teenage...
just doesn't look like a sixth former.
No,
now.
it's teenage boy hair on a chiselled adult face, and it was not... I wasn't liking it. But let's leave that behind for now. We then go to Nick looking on as Sarah is talking with David and two randoms. Don't know who they are. I thought, where's Aunt Diane at this party?
Very good point.
Why isn't she there?
The budget didn't stretch.
Well, they're not paying the OC, so...
They could have got like a body double with similar hair to stand with her back to the camera or something.
No, I want...
Referred to her being there at least.
Yeah.
Said she's in the other room.
Like they did for the
Exactly.
season 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's your mum? Oh, she's just washing her hair. You just missed her. She's feeding the dogs.
I was very pleased to hear that 50 is the new 30, because going on 40, that means that I'm nearly 20.
Yeah.
Is that how
Exactly
that works?
that. I mean, how old are we then? 10?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
10 stone heavier than I was 10 years ago.
They say that she's blossomed since getting rid of that, quote, silly man. I'm like, well, she's gotten rid of her old body as well. She says, I did what I could and so did he. And then, what about David jumping in, responding, no, you did everything and he's an arsehole, which leaves Sarah and the rest of us stunned, shocked, gooped and gagged. What did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you appreciate it as a moment for David?
It's so hard because I'm so tainted by how much I dislike him. But if you're just looking at the facts, he's finally waking up.
Yeah.
Which in theory is a good thing. Should he have woken up in that kind of way as like an explosive
Diarrhea.
rude comment at a rude comment at a party it's meant to be about his mum? Maybe not. But I guess you'd assume he'd know everyone there and would be very comfortable with them. And
In my head, I just thought it takes one to know one, David. He has no problem making arguments at the last dinner party they had.
with the glass half full, maybe he is actually improving himself and changing.
Yeah, well...
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
I think realising someone else is a bad person doesn't automatically make you a good person. I think we've got to remember that.
Yes.
It could be part of a journey of
Reflection.
self-reflection and improvement, or it could just be a realisation that his dad's not a good person. There's a bit of me that feels bad, because I remember back in season 2, it must have been, when we were having the discussions about it, and we were like, it's quite sad that he puts all of his investment into this guy who's not a nice guy, and like he really hero worships such a villain. We'll come back to heroes and villains in a second. So I'm glad that he realises he's not a hero, but it's also sad when you realise your heroes aren't your heroes, and especially if that's your actual dad.
Yeah.
There is something sad about that. Do
There
you
was
feel
a
bad for him?
real bitterness in the way he said it, wasn't there?
Yes.
It was
And then if we were to follow his journey further, the question would be then, does that then take him down a route of becoming an even worse human being? Because sometimes it does. Or is that a journey to self-improvement?
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll never know.
Alizo's been announced the David spin-off.
God, can you imagine?
Ooh.
Ooh, no, thank you.
I won't buy that.
You know, I hope there's a positive arc there, but I don't want to watch it.
No. Yeah,
I think they can keep that story.
the Harry, Ben, David trilogy. Oof.
Ooh.
He walks out past Nick, who says, I thought Dad was your hero, and David throws back, heroes and villains, that's where your brain works, isn't it? What do you think of that comment?
That's very interesting.
A little bit profound from David.
Yeah. Also, he thinks... I mean, generally, I don't think so much with these two, but generally your sibling is one of the people who really knows how you see things and would pick up on it more than other people. And I think that very black and white thinking is maybe something more of, like, early Nick. Like, when we look back to, like, he was a lot more black and white, like, right before, like, the beginning of season 1.
Yeah.
But I guess David hasn't been around for a lot of the change. He's been away, he's only just moved back, so whether he is reflecting on an old version of Nick who was very black and white. But I do... yeah.
Well, in a way, Nick is still very black and white, because that's the root of his issue, is that everything has to be a certain way.
Yeah.
Otherwise...
everything has to be perfect.
Otherwise he ends up alone.
Is a bit of a perfectionist.
Yes.
In ways.
He's got terrible anxiety problems.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But also
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I was going to say, haven't we?
Doesn't really accept help.
No.
Either. And I sort of took it as a comment he was trying to say, like, that he feels like that's how Nick looks at him. Either, like, you're not a hero, so you're a villain. That he's not maybe he doesn't feel his brother gives him enough of a chance because he's done a few things. So when you think the things we've only seen a couple of things. Yeah, they're all objectively awful, but that's not the whole... We haven't seen his whole character. And whether the angle we see him through is almost Nick's lens, because we're looking at Nick's story, and that's the bitterness of his brother going, well, you don't give me a chance, you see me as a villain because people are one category or the other with you, and you've never given me the chance to show
and of course
other sides of my character because you don't get to know me either.
Yes. Earlier in the film, David sort of rescued Nick and brought him home from the pub.
I don't know, the film almost gave me a bit of maybe we don't know his whole story and maybe we're seeing David through Nick's lens and maybe Nick hasn't really given him much of a chance.
Yeah, we've said something similar about other things as well, about how we're seeing it from somebody's perspective, so our opinions are objectively being written for us.
Yes.
I don't know, I just felt like that for him was like him projecting, like, you know, that's the category you put people in our life in, one or the other, and you've decided what I am.
Interesting.
Kind of, yeah, but from what we've seen, that is who he is.
It fades now to Nick's dark memories of Stefan, who somehow looks older despite it being the past. Although, to be fair, like, when you look back at people from the past, they do look older.
Child's memory of things as well.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make excuses.
Children assume everyone is old.
Yeah.
Ask the kids in my class how old I am. Last time I averaged at about 87.
Huh.
Great for the ego.
That's the kids being arrested.
What, for calling me 87?
Yeah.
Fair.
But yeah, he's telling Nick he needs to be tougher, that he's disappointed Nick hasn't been practicing his French, as then they'd be able to talk more.
That is exactly what my dad is like. Even though I'm the child...
Be made the child's fault.
It's my fault for not communicating with you, even though you're the one that hurt me.
Actually,
it's your job to make things right.
If there's a bilingual parent, it's the bilingual parent's responsibility to help their child learn another language.
Do you think Stefan's bilingual too?
Well, maybe.
I hope not. We don't want him.
The straights can have him.
Been rejected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sad little flashback, though.
It is.
But it was also like that's where this is all coming from.
This is why you've got issues.
Yeah. And of course, it's the dad's fault.
I'm saying nothing. I had a good one.
Yeah, same. Can't comment.
Oh, no, I meant like his specific dad. Like, of course it's his fault. He's objectively terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And this whole, like, man up thing he had going on, like, toughen up. This expectation that little boys are meant to have, like, this superior resilience is, I mean, it was very sad.
It's a load of rubbish.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But it explains a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie finds Nick outside. Nick pretends he's fine, but he isn't, and Charlie knows that he isn't. He asks Nick if he thinks Tal will break up this time, and Nick says it's possible. It happens. And Charlie responds, everyone thinks teenage relationships don't last. And he's in a real funk. He's like, oh, I guess they usually don't. And Charlie says, I guess I'm an optimist then. First thing I knew about Charlie being an optimist. Okay. And Dark Side of the Gym by The National plays. Nice song. And they have a kiss. And Nick seems a bit intense. I mean, I know there's stuff been going on with him all through this film. That's the arc, the journey that we're on. But, like, there's stuff going on. And it's... okay. And again, I know why it's happening, but it's like, why? What is going on? Why are you being like this? Come on, snap out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of felt a bit sorry for Charlie in that moment. Like, he's trying to be like slightly positive about the situation and not getting a lot back.
No, but I know I remember it from a few relationships I've had in the past, and actually now I look back on it, I'm like, there were probably some undiagnosed things in there, but it was a different time. We didn't talk about or explore those sorts of things. But yeah, where it's like I'm trying so hard, and you're giving nothing back, and you end up going down a particular path, and you're like, there feels like there's no way to break through, and it's really frustrating because you're like, I just want us to love each other and be happy. What's going on? They pull up at Harry's house for a banging party. Ketamine by Siouxxie's sister is playing. It's like, okay, so the music at this point is like banging rave music.
It's a very elaborate party.
Yeah.
For like a teenager's house. That is not how I remember college house parties being.
No, this has always been a bit of the vibe with Heartstopper. We think about it, we had Harry's party at the hotel.
Yeah.
But like they took over the whole hotel, and that was like, that was a lot more than you'd usually get at just a 16th birthday party around these parts. Then we had the New Year's party at his house. We had the Halloween party. Like those parties, they're a bit like
heightened reality.
Yeah, Hollywood movie teen party business. But
again, it's that lens thing though, because they do feel like that when you're
that
doing them. They feel like the coolest things ever.
Yeah.
And then you look back, you're like, oh gosh, what a dump that was.
Yeah,
I'm glad to have survived that.
Yeah,
especially as like a drama student, like the big parties in student houses, and you're like, it felt like we were in Harry's house in this scene, and looking back at it,
parties
like,
at George's.
Oh my god.
Let's not think of some of the places we went to.
Yeah.
They descend this big, like, curving staircase down into the basement, and Harry welcomes them to his humble abode. I'm like, we've been here before, Harry, thanks. But I get the sense that he's just that sort of guy that does it every time. Like, yeah, okay, we're not impressed by your house anymore, Harry. Get over it. And he says they need to get hammered before exams start. And then he also says that Chili are, quote, proper romantic man. What are our thoughts on Harry saying that? Do we like that seems to be a bit of a Chili stan?
I feel like they were trying to reference him standing near the staircase when they were on like the sofa in season 1 when they were at his Sweet 16 when he was making comments about them. But they were trying to reference that there's now been a shift and he's making positive comments. I feel like there was almost like a direct...
But then also the Eiffel Tower, because that had stairs too. Something about stairs.
That's a little bit tenuous, that one, but we'll take it.
Nothing is an accident in this show. There's something about
there's
something about stairs and Harry and growth. Started off with him by a staircase making negative comments, then by a staircase like sort of in betweeny, and now the staircase positive. That's his journey.
I think it's one of the first times he hasn't sounded as sarcastic.
And has he moved further up the stairs each time?
I mean, that would have been the real way to showcase it, really. Should have got us involved, really.
We need to... Someone reflect back on that. Someone in the Facebook group, let us know your thoughts on that. Reflect back on it.
I just felt like there's been a lot of like little callbacks throughout the film to different parts, and I just felt a bit deja vu-y having like the group of those boys.
And that's French.
All ties back in.
Wow.
With them walking through a party and having those three boys like commenting on them, it's like, like people have like moved on and things have changed. And
speaking of people changing, Charlie walks in and is heartily greeted by the rugby boys, whereas Nick just gets left behind. Charlie's like the popular kid all of a sudden now. He's the head boy, he's the popular kid.
I have found it quite jarring how quickly he's gone to being so confident.
Who, Charlie?
in this film. It feels like quite early on in the film, it's like, oh, you are very confident now. Like, you are performing properly in a band in a pub, and now you're going into this party with all these people and throwing yourself in. It feels like it's been quite...
He is...
I feel like we've missed the chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is over halfway through his head boy year. So he would have grown a lot.
Yeah, whether it's the speed the film's gone at through the seasons.
I feel like that's the big issue with so much about this. It's, lots of things feel like they're just quite out of the blue. And it's not necessarily that they're out of the blue, it's just we've missed so much development.
And it's a great thing. It's just, if it was a season, we would have had more build up to that moment of being like, it makes sense that he's now at the point where he can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick, meanwhile, gets left behind, so he sort of dips into the cinema room where there's a shark video. But I was like, is it Jaws? No, it's not Jaws. It's just like a shark video. And then Tara and Elle welcome him to join them. The music changes. It gets even more intense. KRUSH Bandicoot by RAIZHELL is playing. We go back to the other room. It's really sweaty and ragey in there. There's a boy boxing a punching bag. Darcy's talking to Charlie, but Charlie's kind of spaced out. And then he admits to Darcy that he should feel happy for Nick and his uni journey, but he actually just feels sad. And I think that's normal. I find and understandable. That's okay. And then Darcy says, there, you're Nick and Charlie. You're going to be okay.
Famous last words.
Yeah, I don't know that that's a helpful thing to say.
Probably not.
No, it never is. And it always comes across to me, like when you're trying to have a conversation with someone about something that you're struggling with, and that's their response. It's like, oh, everything's going to be okay.
They're not really listening.
Like, you're not trying to help me.
No,
Just...
I mean, it is a very Darcy response because they don't want to get into, like, serious conversations
Feelings.
about
like,
things.
no, I actually need some actual advice.
Bit of a brush off.
It's not this comfort thing you're doing that isn't comforting at all.
No, I feel like at that point Darcy should have gone, I'm going to get Tara.
Yeah.
And then she can talk to you about
Tara's
this.
busy consoling the other half of the duo.
Yeah.
We then cut back to, it's the back of Nick's head, but it's like centre screen with the shark video playing in front of him. And it's quite similar framing to the scene where he was Captain America at the Halloween party where he was right centre frame.
Yeah.
But that time he was facing us. This time he's facing away from us. And I noticed that, but I didn't quite know what it meant. But I feel like it must mean something. But
Like he's shut
what
off
does
this
it
time.
mean?
Well, you know what they say about sharks? They can never stop moving.
Yes,
Yes.
they do, yeah.
Just like Nick's head. It's a stretch.
Okay.
It's a stretch.
It is. It is a stretch.
Oh, so you coming up with any
I
bright
think it might
ideas?
just literally be as simple as we could read what he was thinking because we could see him, he was open to us, and now he's shutting himself off. He's turned his back on us and the situation.
Okay, what are you, like an English teacher or something?
No, I teach 4-year-olds, it never gets this deep.
We go to Tara being the voice of, I'd say, a lot of youth of today, particularly queer youth, who are seeing different paths and just go to uni, have a career, settle down. I'm like, as a millennial, you're welcome. We had to fall victim to those mistakes so that you, Gen Z, could see the light. It's that boomer journey that worked so well for that generation that then my generation were really pushed into, and then we found that, the economy isn't what it was back then and it doesn't quite work as smoothly as that anymore, and people are now saying, perhaps there's a different way. Maybe I can make a fortune being an influencer, for example. So, she's not going to go to uni. She's going to have a gap year. She's asked Darcy to go interrailing next year. If you're not sure what that is across Europe, particularly the European Union, where travel between borders is much more fluid and much simpler if you've got a European passport, an EU passport. It's but anyone can do it. It's the practice of basically travelling across Europe on the different rail networks and just like rocking up in a new city, in a new country, finding a youth hostel, staying there, going somewhere. It's an exciting thing to do. My sister did a bit of interrailing back in the day. I didn't. I worked in my gap
You were
year.
really interrailing. I was waiting for a chance to
I
make
know
that
you
joke.
were.
So they're going to get interrailing. So they can focus on being human and feeling alive. I don't think that's the only way that you can get those things, but it's a way. Great, good for you. But yeah, do it. Live your life. Don't get stuck into something you don't want to do. Mm-mm. Elle says she wants that feeling, but that people in good relationships don't keep breaking up and getting back together. To which Tara says, you clearly don't want to break up. Well, no, but that's sort of not the point, is it? And Elle says, I can't revolve my life around someone else. It would only make us resent each other eventually, and then it would kill the love that's there. It's difficult. Is there a compromise? Can you live your life for yourself, but also still live it with someone else? Or do you... Because, and I say this as a single person that has spent my life seeing, particularly hetero couples, I must say, doing the heteronormative thing, go off, get into their relationships, and like their lives don't really exist outside of their marriage and their families. And that's fine if that's what you want, like great. But if you're like Elle and you're like, I don't want that, but I do still want to have a relationship, I do still want to, like, what is the compromise? How does it work? How does it work for you, Indigo? You seem like you're doing an alright job.
Yeah, I think it's just about honest communication about your long-term goals from the get-go. Like, I was very, very honest with Tyler on our first date about what I was after.
Yeah.
And realistically what I was going to want further down the line.
Do you think a lot of that comes from you were getting into that relationship when you were older? Like, I think that's why a lot of, like they were saying, that old teenage relationships don't last, because you don't do that when you meet like your first partner. You don't sit down and have that conversation in the same way. I mean, I'd spoken to Sean before we even went on our first date. Like, I'm a career person. I'm focusing on my career. Just want to make you aware. I won't even be, like, it will be very low key. If we see each other, it won't be a relationship for a long time. I mean, we just talked online for like months because I was like, no, I'm a career person. That's what I'm doing. But I don't think you have that conversation when you're 16.
No.
Because you don't do it because you don't know what your thing is at that point. And I think that's why this was another one of those Heartstopper moments where like it felt very real. Like, this is what teenagers who are in relationships, it is what they're all going through in their second year of sixth form. That, I mean, I remember that was like half of the college group, wasn't it? That, like, do you break up beforehand or do you try and go to uni together? It's another one of those snapshots where it's like it is reflecting real life very well and what actually happens at that stage. I think
it's also, again, the influence of what you see. It's like my generation all following that, not all, but the vast majority following that uni career settling down path, because that's what we saw from the generation before us. But also in terms of relationships, then you know, most people grow up in a household with a heteronormative relationship in front of them, and so grow up with an expectation to have relationships that follow that really traditional route. And then if you see other examples, if you learn about other examples, if you learn from other examples, then you can see the different ways of doing it, I guess. I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask because I'm alone. But it's fine.
I was that person who tried to stay with someone and go to uni. I mean, you saw what happened.
Yeah, didn't go well.
No, but I remember us having that conversation and I remember sitting there going, maybe we just shouldn't bother because it's not going to go anywhere. And then being talked into, no, we should try, and then ended up being the one broken up with anyway. But I think there is always that to and fro, but I don't know many people who did end up, like, I see why they're all having those conversations, because like I don't know any people who really stayed together from like college and went to different places and stayed together.
I don't think anybody did.
You know, from our own lived experience.
Yeah, from our lived experience, I think everybody broke up.
Yeah, I think that was the same in my experience as well.
But equally, we're in a nice little fantasy world of Heartstopper, and I'd like to think they all just stay happy.
Or maybe there was one couple that stayed together from Kerry's class.
Yeah, maybe one.
Because they got married and
there you go. There's a success story.
But did they go to uni?
They were together before college.
I don't think they did go to uni.
Because that's it.
I don't think either of them went to uni.
This is it. I know people who have been together, like childhood sweethearts who have been together, but they didn't go off to uni.
But they're the people in this situation making that decision of, we're not going to go to uni because we're going to be like a proper couple now, like an adult couple.
Yeah.
And that's a really different path again, isn't it? Which, you know, some people take, each their own.
Yeah, whereas I was like, I want to go out and see the world.
Want to do something new and different.
Take me to the world.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Nick has just been listening to this and taking it all on board.
He just looks so sad.
I know. But again, it feels like a big jump from where he was to where he is now, and I feel like we've just skipped some important steps. but we'll come back to this.
It's the same with the jump to Charlie's confidence to his lack of confidence. They both jumped very quickly, which is maybe why it's making them both feel more jarring, because one has spiked up and one has spiked down at the same time without the infill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another song, Tell Me Lies by Asteria and Odetari. This is not the Fleetwood Mac song. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lie. No. We're back in the rave room. Sahar can't deal with the lights. I thought of you. I thought that feels like a very Indigo response.
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
Yeah.
Charlie goes off to find Nick. Elle was suddenly there. When did Elle suddenly end up in this room? She was just in the other room with Nick and Tara. How is she here now? Where's Tara? Like, what's going on? Something doesn't add up. We get this really cool sort of tracking shot of Charlie moving through the party, because it's a film now, not the series. We've got to have these moments. Nick's not in the cinema room. Gasp, where could he be? There's another drunk vomist. Oh, we don't need that, thank you. Charlie goes looking upstairs and finds Nick standing in the kitchen staring out of the bifold doors, because he's bi, actually. Charlie suggests maybe they go, and Nick's like, well, if that's what you want. And Charlie's like, well, if it's what you want. It's like,
We're just going around in circles.
maybe it's not what anyone wants. Maybe we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
And as Nick turns around, it looks like he's been crying. Why has he been crying? Again, there are gaps that need to be filled here. Important gaps that haven't been filled. And Charlie doesn't even acknowledge that it looks like Nick's been crying.
No.
Why doesn't he say anything? Like,
Well, it's like we keep saying, the communication's broken down. He probably doesn't know how to approach the conversation.
So they've got to a point where they're almost awkward with each other.
Yeah.
When something's not good.
but you'd still be like,
What's up?
are you right?
Yeah, they're not adjusting to not being in the honeymoon phase very well.
Maybe it is that.
Usually them coming into a room was enough to cheer them up.
Just it being just the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's now changed because the relationship's moved forward, but they've not clocked it, and they're just starting to resent each other because of it. You know what I mean?
He asks Charlie if he's angry with him about something. I was like, what did I miss? Charlie's like, what did I miss? And then Nick says it's like Charlie's been avoiding him, and Charlie says he was giving him space to have fun and talk to his friends about uni because it's only 4 months away, which seems fair, no? I think that's the right choice from Charlie. I think he should be doing that.
But equally, has Nick acted like he's excited? I think if he'd acted like he was excited about it, he'd be like, yeah, you want to go and talk to them because it's a fun thing to talk about. He hasn't acted excited about uni at all. So I don't think I would assume that he'd be talking to his friends in an excited way about it, because he's seemed off about it the whole time.
But if you've got a partner, that's the person you need to talk to about it and say, I'm actually feeling stressed and anxious and not happy about it. But he's not done that. And then he acts kind of a bit weird towards Charlie, like he's been fobbed off a bit. And Charlie's like, well, no, look, it is going to be hard when you're not there, but I think you'll be fine. And Nick's, he's in proper emo mode now.
Yeah.
We talked about this last week, his emo walk. Yeah, he's in proper emo mode where he's like, oh, you don't need me hanging around. And Charlie's like, no, but it's still going to be hard when you're not here. And Nick comes back, well, what if it all blows up like Tower now? And Charlie says, I guess it was possible.
I felt like that was the wrong thing to say in that moment.
Yep.
He's like in a proper spiral hole. In that moment, you just you don't say yes, that's right, or no, that's wrong. You just kind of find a way of segueing out of that pocket of the conversation.
You're being silly. Stop it now.
Yeah.
Let's go
What's
downstairs.
really the problem?
Let's go downstairs and have a party. Or come back to mine and I'll make a sex tent again. No. You didn't like that. And then Charlie jumps in. I know you've been struggling this year. You've been really anxious about lots of things, about yourself. Yeah, sorry, I know that's probably annoying for you. He sounds like Charlie
He was
now.
starting to annoy me here because he just kept being like, oh yeah, I know, I'm sorry, like my existence is so annoying. I was like, oh, stop it.
It's that self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like, if you are going to continue to act like this, then you are going to get the result that you are looking for. But then is that the purpose of it? Is it actually trying to manufacture a certain result, a certain outcome?
I don't know. I think he was expecting the kind of like coddling he gave Charlie when Charlie was low. I think he was expecting that because he was very like affectionate with Charlie when things went wrong. It wasn't as practical early on. It was quite like emotional.
But every time Charlie's tried to be supportive in any way,
pushed it away.
he's pushed it away. So
It's like he wants it, but he won't accept it.
yeah, I think subconsciously he wants it.
He's used to his feelings being associated, as we saw in the clip, with weakness. And what he wants more than anything is to not be seen as weak in front of Charlie. He's digging this hole because he'd rather look insensitive then vulnerable.
Yeah. And I think Charlie's pushed a few nerves by being like, oh, you're obviously going to have this like big. I think he was trying to be supportive, like you're going to go and have this big exciting life, and you're going to have this really. And he's not feeling like that about uni at the moment. He's not seeing it as a big exciting opportunity. He's seeing it as something he's scared of, but he doesn't want to show he's scared because that's the showing weakness thing.
Yeah.
So he can't say to him, no, it's not how I'm feeling about it. So instead, it's like, well, if I just push you away, you'll stop making those comments. I won't have to listen to them anymore.
He's caught in a trap.
Right.
Came over all Elvis then. It happens sometimes. Charlie sort of snaps back with like, it's not, well, not snaps back, but he's not actually having Nick's silliness really. He's like, it's not annoying.
Not indulging in the pity
No,
party.
he's not. He says it's not annoying.
And he should have left it there. He should have just said,
It's not annoying. Let's go home.
No, I think it needed to be said, actually, what he said. It's not annoying, it's upsetting, because I tried to talk to you about it and you just shut it down. I thought we were good at that.
They haven't been good at it for this whole film, though,
That's what I mean. Because what he's done, I agree that he should have said it, but
maybe not in this moment.
This wasn't the right moment for it because, again, if he was paying attention, Nick is digging a hole here.
He's
going to take everything you say and beat himself up about it. He's just done it twice in a row, so I would just stop engaging with it.
So what would you do? What should he do?
Wait for the right moment. You know, like we see Nick in other seasons.
Let's
wait
go
for
home.
the right moment to approach it with Charlie. Wait until he's like at home with his home comforts. Wait, like all those moments where he tried to talk to him about his eating disorder and thing, and he really waited for the moment.
Wait for a really lovely big positive day and then ruin it by having a serious talk.
I would
That's how Nick does it.
Oh, yeah, get him in like a place where he's comfortable. And,
I would also talk to his mum.
But she's changed.
When Tyler's has struggled with things in the past, I spoke to his mum because they can give you a perspective on these things.
And he does have that sort of relationship with Sarah that he could do that.
Yeah, but it's so easy for us to say that in hindsight.
And I guess like in the moment, this is like a 17-year-old.
They're reacting because there's a lot of built-up tension.
What is going on with us? We've always been so good. What are you saying?
There's been this tension and animosity that's started to build, and it's just being let out all at once.
Maybe a bit of resentment. Things are going at the point where things are getting better for Charlie. He's not got someone to enjoy it with.
And then that begs the question again: why do relationships go this way? Not all of them, but when relationships go this way, why? What is that? Because it feels quite accurate to an experience.
A lack of alignments at the they're not at the same point.
With an R.
But yeah, when the dynamic changes, sometimes people can really struggle with that. And if you're not communicating while there's a shift going on, then resentment builds.
They're in really different places.
It's like when someone at work gets promoted and everybody's attitude towards them changes because they've been promoted. Like, oh, who are you to tell me what to do? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a way, it's sort of like that. It's the same person, but suddenly there's a tonal shift.
I'm with you. Charlie doesn't just say, let's go home, though. He
continues the conversation.
He continues a little bit further. He says, I think that the reason you do that is because of me, and that seems to hit a nerve. And then he says, maybe it's a good idea for us to have some space. And that's like...
That was the
worst
thing
you could have said.
Well, it's that sort of, always feels like a death knell. Is there ever...
Saying the words break or space.
Is it recoverable after you've said that?
No, it's not. Because you can't spin that.
Especially not when you're that... Like, this is their first proper relationship. When you hear those words...
And this is their first proper argument. And that's the first place you go, is to say you need space. It doesn't bode well.
Well, they had a big argument when Charlie had his relapse.
Yeah, but that was the context. There was a contextual thing there.
Yeah.
And the different... Nick left the conversation rather than saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Which I guess this is the first time neither of them have left the conversation. And this is the path it's naturally gone down.
Yeah. Charlie goes on, you're going off to uni and you'll be living your best life. And then maybe if you don't have to worry about me so much, then you'll be happier. I want you to be happy. Which is a nice thing to say.
I don't think it is. I think that came across really... Like, it sounds like if I was in that position, I'd think he was hinting that we need to break up.
It's like he was trying to... I think if I was on the receiving end of that, I'd be like, you're trying to manufacture a reason to break up because you want to, and you've seen this as like a way into that conversation, is how I would have taken it, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly how I was taking it in the moment.
And he was saying something that was going to hurt Nick's feelings, but in like a soft way, which I think also come off a little bit like patronising in a way. Like, I'm going to say it really nicely, like it's something really nice, but there is this undertone.
Because I want you to be happy is kind of a cop-out.
But I do believe him, and I do think he wants him to be happy.
He has the best of intentions, but he has no idea
how to have this conversation.
How he's saying it is just not helping.
I mean, if it was flipped and it was Nick saying that to Charlie, think of what the reaction would have been.
Yeah.
He would have had a much bigger breakdown. But maybe a healthier breakdown because he would have been emotionally transparent about it, whereas Nick just kind of went into...
he would have gone, okay, fine, and then had a relapse at home.
No, really, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I get it.
No, I get it, yeah.
You're getting really good at that.
Thanks, I'll keep practicing.
Well, Nick heard it exactly how you both said you'd heard it, so he says, so we should break up then for some space. That's basically what you're saying in it. That's basically what you're saying, isn't it? And there's anger, but the anger, because he feels rejected. There's a rejection.
Yeah.
And Charlie's like, if that's what you want...
That means you think yes. That's what that means. I'm sorry.
That's a way of not having to be the one to make the decision. Oh, if that's what you want. It's like,
I'm
going to put the ball in your court. I don't want to make the call. Because if it all goes horribly wrong, it's not my decision.
I've never said, if you think that, without it meaning, that is what I want, but I feel mean saying it. So maybe you should say it.
Obviously, he wanted to know how Nick felt, but regardless of how Nick felt, he would have had a feeling towards it either way. And that was his window to voice his feeling towards it.
Sometimes there is a vibe that you get that someone wants to break up with you, and you try to be like...
But I think the miscommunication here is they both think that's what the other person wants, so they're both doing it because they think it's what the other one wants. And
it's all
the way
down
they're
to
going in
miscommunication.
these circles about it, it's very frustrating to watch.
Yes.
It's all down to miscommunication. She's got a lot to answer for. And then Nick's like, no, I'm asking if that's what you want. It's obviously not what either of them want. And I'm sort of asking again, how have we got here? Like, again, I know how we've got here, but we needed to develop it a little bit more, I feel. But it is what it is. And then Nick says, I'm only happy when I'm with you, which feels like a very Charlie line, or like old Charlie line. And Charlie says, I don't think that's how it should be.
I don't think that's how it should be.
Yeah, like that. I mean, it's not wrong. He's not wrong. That's not how
Charlie's
it should
completely
be.
right.
I get like the roles of reverse, but the difference is I don't think Nick ever would have said, I don't think that's how it should be.
The problem is,
I don't think he would have come out and openly said to him.
Yeah, you've now recognised the problem. Now's when you start talking about it.
But
you don't. That's not the end of the conversation. That's the start of it.
But
they're 17, aren't they?
And also, as devil's advocate, has Charlie not already spotted and tried to help with that? The whole, like, go get a job, go and find out who you are out in the world, go and, like, live your best life.
But I guess he's dealing with it without talking about it.
This is what I mean.
He's tried to put in supports without mentioning it and just do it
because
like
Nick is rejected whenever he has tried.
True.
I agree.
And then Charlie's now only just started to say how it's making him feel. Whereas if he'd have done that sooner, it maybe would have...
But then, like, the first reaction he's got from Nick as soon as he said how he feels, okay, well, you want it done then. He's gone...
Yeah.
The first time Charlie's talked about his feelings regarding their relationship...
Yes. And
that
again...
isn't positive.
This wasn't the best time for this conversation.
No.
When else could it have happened, would be my question, because I feel like...
I just think things are worse at night.
And they're both just coming from conversations with their friends about all the change that's been going on. They've got all these other things swimming in their head. They can hear people having fun in the background while they're having a rubbish time, which never helps.
Yeah.
They're not in their own homes, their own comfort places.
I just feel that I think I'm not on Charlie's side as such, but I'm with Charlie's journey. He's seen Nick going this way. He has tried his very best to encourage him. That's not worked. He has tried to offer support and protection. That's been rejected.
He's kind of at the end of his tether.
I think he knows that if he said, this is how it's affecting me, that would put Nick into protection mode, but wouldn't, to try and fix Charlie's problem, but wouldn't actually help Nick sort out his own problem.
I think he was hoping Nick would go, oh no, I've upset you, tell me what to do to make it better and I will do that, and that he would have then gone and worked on these things, but he's just not in that headspace at the moment. He's not doing so great at the moment.
It's all gone a bit wrong. Charlie then finally actually says that no, he doesn't want to break up. Nick says he thinks Charlie would be better off without him too, and then Charlie starts to put up a bit of a fight, saying he loves him. He didn't say that, he wants to help. But Nick's like, it's okay, you don't have to worry about me. And he leaves. But on the way out, he turns around and says, I'm sorry for making you cry. What are your thoughts on that line? I was a bit cross with Nick, I think, at this point.
I couldn't tell whether he was genuinely feeling bad.
I think he was.
Charlie was upset, or whether it was a little petty, like, oh, well, I'm sorry for making you cry. Almost like, oh, you're not sorry, the state you've got me in, but I'll say sorry.
No, I don't think Nick cares.
I don't think that's his character.
Yeah, Nick doesn't care about how he's feeling. He only cares about how things are affecting Charlie. So I think that it was a genuine, I'm really
but
sorry.
you can't give him a hug
really
because they're
sorry
not
I made you
together
cry.
anymore, so I'll just apologise.
Yeah.
I just don't know how I feel.
It's just a weird
about
thing
it.
to say.
Yeah, I
think
didn't
that's all
like it
is.
as a line.
It's a weird thing to say, but I sort of get it in the context of where Nick's at emotionally.
It's like he had to say something.
Yeah, but
And he didn't know how to end it.
Nick is the one that can't communicate right now, so it makes sense that he would say something a bit obscure like that. But to me, it still showed that he cared.
There's just something within all of his responses that feels quite... I don't know that selfish is the right word.
Detached. He just felt very emotionally detached.
Like he wasn't really there.
Yeah.
He didn't put up a fight.
No.
Although neither of them, like Charlie put up a bit of a fight, but it wasn't like with everything they've been through.
But you can't fight when somebody is not even looking at you.
When there's a brick wall there.
And I think Charlie's at a point of like, I don't know what else to do. I've tried all of the things and none of it has worked.
Yeah.
Sometimes distance is the best thing for a relationship, but they've not had to deal with it before.
No.
So they just see it as breaking up.
And they've not initiated that healthily.
Yeah.
Maybe we just need to spend a bit less time together and become a bit less reliant. It's like a nuclear option.
Charlie's left in shock as Nick gets in his car. He sits for a while, but he doesn't turn the key just yet. And then we descend into dark graphics. And we can leave it there because what's going to happen next? Oh my god, guys, what's going to happen
That was
next?
sad. It's like he was waiting for him to come out or something. I feel like a part of him was like, maybe he's going to fight for this and he's going to turn up.
Yeah.
He was just sat in the driveway for a minute.
Or should I go back in and... But we don't know.
But
We
clearly
don't
didn't
know.
have anything in him to
Yeah.
do anything. But then what would have happened if Charlie did come out? They would have had the same conversation again, probably.
Probably.
Sometimes you need the big blowout and then you can have the more rational conversation. Maybe they would have had a more rational conversation. Don't know. But it's all a bit much. It's all not very chilly. It's all...
No.
Ooh. No.
It's not giving me the happiness vibes I normally watch it for.
No, but we have got some very dark places in Heartstopper.
Yeah. I don't know, this just feels different.
It feels too real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't...
Where are the leaves?
I don't need to be confronted with the stark reality of how my life began to unravel at that age. I need to carry on the happy track of what my life could have been if it had just stayed consistently like that. That's what I needed. That's why those childhood sweethearts have stuck together. They've kept that going, haven't they? That's why they're all so happy. But are they really?
You can be happy when you don't know anything different.
Ooh, I like that take. Interesting.
Anyway, there we are. Let's leave that there. Cheryl,
Yeah.
before you leave us, thoughts in general about this film. How are you feeling about it? You've heard us talk about it. Are you on our side?
Yeah, I think a lot of it. I just wanted a bit more. And I think it's what we would have got if it was a series. I wanted what we would have got if it was a season, but I'm aware they couldn't have possibly made that work. I think there's so many storylines that I wanted to know more about. Imogen's always been one of my favourite characters. I don't really feel like we really find out. It's very surface level. We find out what's going on with her. There's not a lot there. Isaac, I feel like, is basically... There's no storyline for Isaac in this film at all, really. And I think it was the right direction to go in terms of Nick and Charlie's story, because it would be the next inevitable thing that would happen. It is a very realistic portrayal of what things happen when you're in that year before uni, in terms of friendship dynamics and relationship dynamics and all the feelings going on. But it's just such a shame we only see these little flashes of the rest of them. I think it's one of the scenes that's coming up where Elle is asking Charlie to go to Pride, and she's saying, I really need you to be there for this. That's like the first comment we've had about what's going on for Elle in the world. Yeah. And it kind of ends up being the last. I was like, maybe this is going to be something that they do. And I'm thinking, it's a bit late in the film, but maybe they'll start. And it was just that tiny little bit. And it's like it kind of felt like a token gesture.
Yeah.
Rather than properly dealing with... if they wanted to do something on that, they should have done a spin-off or something. If they wanted to focus on that, I feel like it was almost worse touching on it as a token gesture, and a token one line almost felt worse for me, because that's quite a significant thing that probably should have been... that needed to be covered.
Yeah, it's like the Imogen thing. I would rather she didn't have a relationship.
Yeah, there was no relationships going on in her life.
Rather than suddenly she's realised her queer identity, but we don't get to explore any of it. And not only do we not get to explore it, it's actually, they make a point of cutting it off every time she has the opportunity to talk about it.
Yeah.
I think it's enough of a storyline for Imogen that just like watching her and Nick drift a bit as they're both finding out about themselves, and then they kind of touch base at the end and acknowledge they've been drifting. That's enough of a storyline for how much space there was for her in this film.
Yeah.
And that is something that also happened, so it still would have been a relevant storyline for her. It's like there was too much padding, which I suppose in some ways fan service, because we want to know what's happening with all of them.
I hope that they release an extended version.
Yeah. I think
I
like
have a feeling there's more scenes filmed.
the same with
that didn't
Tori.
make it.
Like, we barely saw Tori.
I'm not convinced there are.
No. Well, we barely saw anything about Tori.
No.
The things we did do, I think, was fan service for Solitaire, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if I loved that or not. I love Tori as a character. But again, you just saw enough of her to want more. And is that the right way to do it? Would it have been better to have kind of like she didn't have like the same prevalence as she has in the seasons in terms of the journey of the lead characters we were following? But equally, I mean, it sounds like I'm really bashing it because I did love the film and I did sit there and cry, and I still love it and completely see it as a equal part of the sort of universe of it. But it's just because I want more, really.
Yeah. But that's it, we all just want more. More. Okay, and then Heartstopper as a whole, any standout things that you want to mention? Like standout lines from the film, from all of the series, standout moments, standout characters, standout songs, anything. This is your chance to throw any favourites out there if you want to.
I mean, song-wise, I don't think it's really changed since the last time I spoke to you. It's still very much Bieber Doobie, Baby Queen is front-running for me.
Good choice.
Because that's who I listen to anyway. So that...
And they feel so Heartstopper because they're there. I mean, Baby Queen is there from the very opening moment. They are Heartstopper, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think that's very much my kind of music, and it makes me think of Heartstopper. So it's like a nice merging of those two things for me.
Yeah.
Lines-wise, I don't really know at this point. There's so much. I mean, the one we said earlier, Isaac's line earlier, I can't remember exactly what it was word for word now off the top of my head, about Chai surviving.
Yeah.
That is one that I remembered after watching it and thinking that is a very prevalent thing. And I think it's interesting then at the end they're talking about how Isaac is writing a book about all of them. I'm like, oh, is this meant to be hinting that you are our like author?
Well, yeah, because we've been saying it for a long time.
Has someone been listening?
Yes, of course.
And I'm like, okay, like that's quite a nice little time. I think it makes all the really prevalent things, like often it is Isaac saying all the prevalent things, and now that you're seeing a few more of them say things like the conversation with like what Charlie was saying earlier about Nick, about him being in the future.
Yes.
In a conversation specifically with Isaac, and I was like, okay, like that's interesting. You trio are having like that moment. It's like, okay, maybe this is more leaning towards the fact that like it kind of sounded more like something Isaac would say, like they were leaning into that Isaac is our real narrator kind of aspect, that maybe that's the lens we're looking at everything through. And then, I mean, character, I've always loved Tori. Tori's always been a highlight character. Tori, Isaac and Imogen, if I wasn't going to pick Nick or Charlie, have always been like my ones that which again is sad.
Yay, Imogen! Justice for Imogen!
It's sad that we've seen so little of them. They're probably the three that we saw the least of in this film.
Yeah, I think so.
Which is sad.
It's criminal.
Their arcs just sort of disappeared in this film.
We got a bit more Tori.
There was a bit. But I think with Tori, they don't really know where they're going with it because, you know, even in interviews, Alice Oseman, they've even said, like, I didn't really know who Tori was when I wrote Solitaire. So this version of the storyline that it's now aligning with is now kind of different because Tori has developed.
Yeah,
but Solitaire's still there.
They hadn't started to explore Ace identities themselves, and applied them to their own selves, their own identity. And then when they did that, they then reflected on the character of Tori and realised that they'd accidentally written an Ace character there.
Tori's in this, like, film Tori's kind of in this limbo land between Solitaire and the Heartstopper books.
Yeah,
it's kind
or the series.
Trying to meet it in the middle.
Yeah, she's not quite either, and that's what sits a bit funky with me.
Yeah.
The her and Michael situation. It's like, you've applied too much Solitaire to this that wasn't there before.
If you now that you understand Tori better, would she be in this situation with Michael? Or are we just continuing with this because it's what fans want?
But only fans from Solitaire, the fans of the series, wouldn't have seen it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I read Solitaire after the first season of Heartstopper come out. I immediately bought every single book and read everything and consumed all of it immediately because I'm impatient and couldn't wait for the next season to come out. So I guess I've sort of always had it. And so like when he popped up in the series, I was like, oh yay, like it's a character I recognise. But now that I've sat on it for a bit longer, I'm like, oh, I think that was just like an initial, like, oh, that's nice. But now I'm like, oh, it maybe doesn't work as well with this new Tory, who is now different. Now that the series has developed and the timeline has now overlapped, she's not where I expected her to be because she's not the same in the series.
No. I agree.
Essentially, it's still ultimate comfort watching.
Oh,
and it's
yes.
remained as that. And if it wasn't so disgustingly hot, I would have worn my Heartstopper jumper. But I had to settle for something that was yellow and blue instead. Because there was no way I was wearing a jumper in this heat.
It's fair enough.
It's quite
fair
thick.
enough. I want to see the Heartstopper jumper. Have I seen it?
No, it was the one, Sean got it as one of my Christmas presents. Along with lots of other Heartstopper things. And it's got all leaves down the sleeves. And Heartstopper.
Leaves down the sleeves.
It's lovely.
Have I seen a picture of it?
No, it's very warm to the point where you never have it on for very long when you wear it. So I end up wearing it around the house so that I don't lose it.
Send us a picture. We need to see.
Yes.
We need to see.
I will do when the weather cools down a bit. Enough for me to wear it. And to try and get a point in my granny pad house where a photo doesn't look horrible. We are very much needing many renovations.
I mean, you're speaking to someone who's painted their living room, granny bedroom pink.
I mean, this is the colour of my kitchen.
None taken.
I love it. No, this is the picture. This is what I've chosen. It's the only room we've done.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
I chose to paint it this colour.
It's good, isn't it?
I love it.
I love my little pink living room. Anyway, we can't talk about this. It's time to go. We've waffled on for far too long. Thank you so much for coming to join us, though. How exciting. Nice to have some new thoughts, some new opinions, some new voices. Thank you to those on the Facebook group who are getting involved with the discussions as well. Keep doing that. You know where to find us on our Facebook group, on Insta at A Heartstopper Podcast. We're there. Come talk to us. We love it. We're going to carry on talking about the film next week. Hopefully we'll have Ellie back with us. And hopefully Indigo will stay awake.
We'll see.
We'll see. So come and join us then. In the meantime, take care, stay safe, and goodbye.